The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
A good game there on first. First down, that run will get him 7 up to the 32-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
2nd and 3. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. He was looking for Parker that time. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Operating from the gun, Love. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the return will stop right around the 25. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Well, good.
What up?
Pick up there of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out through.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. He's showing the different ways he can hit you in this first quarter. One rushing, one receiving touchdown.
He's showing us he's not just a stereotype, isn't he? Not just a guy who carries the ball in the backfield, can get out into space, make plays with his hands downfield. That's a pretty good combination right there.
Defensively, you'd prefer to be going against the stereotype, wouldn't you?
At least you know where he is, right? That gives you a chance to get more people to him and get him on the ground.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll look to throw here. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Looking down proper.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man, it's Preston Williams. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Off the play fake. Love. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. 44 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Love. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The throw over the middle, taken in. 30, past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Well, since we don't have a rooting interest in this one, neither one of us wanted to see this one get out of hand too early. Here we are in the first quarter. That was an important response for them to score already down 21.
That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards
if the game ever comes down to kicking with him, I feel confident.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
I guess I'll have to run that one.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Love. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line.
Mark.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 34. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Throwing on 1st down. Love. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And That play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Love. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance.
I bet you understand this time of year there's copperheads under there and rattlesnakes.
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history.
Get under houses like that.
And you're just a scholar all the way.
You literally risk your life.
I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Yeah.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again on offense, here's Devontae Parker now. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing a 1,000-yard pace.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thomas, the intended target. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if you're starting through 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Off play action. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kyle Van Noy gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Love. And that is caught. What a grab at the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
He'll have a first down past the 40. A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
But now it's on first down there, but it's incomplete. Parker unable to get that one, and that'll bring up second down.
Thomas had 2 touchdown catches one game, but he only had like 60 yards. And the son of a bitch
he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones
I want to be more involved.
And it's third down.
Getting 5 catches or 100 yards.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because
don't do it to your user.
The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, you couldn't find a silver lining in this. Much more.
Buddy, your morale's just going to be low.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a third person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Operating from the gun. Love. This is complete to Michael Thomas. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Yeah.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Love. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Oh, but you're good at it.
Well, I try.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already...
I didn't need all those timeouts. All right. There you go, buddy. There you go, man. All right.
We're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think... they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
The throw here caught by Devontae Parker, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. They'll drop the throw. It's complete to Williams. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
50 seconds to Mike. Stop your whining.
They'll set up to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A gain of 28 yards there, and give them a first down. A final shot before break. Love. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go.
Get some rushing yards.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to get coverage in his direction.
It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Running with Kamara. And an alley to run. Well, he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 12-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he's gone 2-2 on us now at 2 receiving touchdowns, now his 2nd rushing touchdown.
You do that by running the ball against me.
And that's the back of the NFL nowadays, isn't it? The ability to do everything. You can't just be one or the other. The best ones, able to run it, catch it, and produce. Big-time points put on the board by him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
I told him we were talking.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball.
Text the group. I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
See what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now back to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
So it's tied up?
Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out, because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes he's going to win that battle. And you know what they all do? They all keep kind of a book, you know, on what the defenders do, what their moves are, their best things. And he wants to be able to refer to that book and beat one guy at a time.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Kamara. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after the run by Kamara, now another first and 10.
Dry humping the ground. I'm like, get up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
But he didn't get to scout him.
A Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But it's going to be 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a...
You know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
That'll be complete to Cook. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel
got
good
one out
about
on the
what's
2.
going on, and they just play.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Love. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They'll come out in the pistol. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. 2nd and 5. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And this is Parker, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Ebron with it over the middle. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. On play action, they'll throw. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. He's got it to Williams. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different...
Saints, they continue.